Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto content. Feels pretty weird to be recording a video at about 5 p.m. I'm usually recording videos at like 3 to 5 a.m. But yeah, I mean, yesterday I took a trip, told you guys, pretty much took like the day off, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Disconnections from YouTube, or if you guys are in crypto and you guys are constantly watching your phone's portfolio, watching charts, try to disconnect a little bit. It's very good for not only your mental health, but it's also good for your physical health and everything like that, to really kind of, go out, enjoy your life, because not everything revolves around money and crypto and all this stuff. Like, you got to disconnect a little bit here and there. So definitely try to focus on health, not just, wealth. When we talk about crypto, today we see that the total crypto market cap is still at about 1.47 trillion, up about 2.25%. Bitcoin's still ranging in that $34,000 to $35,000 range. Nothing's really changed with it. It's kind of staying stable, if you will. The thing that I'm concerned about is today is Wednesday. We are ranging into the weekend, and prices have not changed significantly, so we could see a drop in the weekend. Now, we do see Bitcoin is being outperformed by Ethereum. Ethereum is up 5.48% in the last 7 days. Bitcoin's actually down 0.16% in the last 7 days. Ethereum is up 2.31% in the 24-hour period. Bitcoin is only up about 1.78%. But these two assets are actually being outperformed by BNB, which is up about 13.11% in the 7-day period, 6% in the last 24-hour period, which is very interesting to see. Now, in terms of HBAR, I do know a lot of people are being impatient with it. They don't want to, a lot of people are actually selling their HBAR, which I think is a terrible idea. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in this video, but we do see that it's still up about 3.78% in the 24-hour period. It kind of just fell from 4%. We are up about 2% overall in the last 7 days. So we still are kind of sitting stable at that 18 to 20 cent range until one of those are broken. Of course, if 18 cents is broken, we go lower. If 20 cents is broken, we most likely go higher. And then we have to clear some resistance points. But for the most part, HBAR is still performing very well. There's no real difference between HBAR and any other asset right now. I mean, you can't really compare HBAR's performance to even anything. For an example, talked about ADA the other day. These statistics here, comparing it to ADA, we're actually outperforming them on the 24-hour. I don't know about, we're not performing them, or outperforming them, I should say, in 7 days. But there's real no correlation between the percentage differences. So, with that being said, I want to move on to my next topic. Now, this one is going to be a little bit weird, as it doesn't have real correlation to HBAR, but it does have real correlation to cryptocurrency overall. That is this. Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys already know I'm a very big UFC fan. I watch UFC pretty much almost every Saturday when I can. And we are now seeing that UFC pretty much linked a $175 million crypto deal. Its largest sponsorship ever. They signed a 10-year, $175 million partnership with Crypto.com. Of course, they're pretty much netting $17.5 million a year. But this proves my point in terms of adoption, right? This is actually very good for crypto, because now a lot more people will know about crypto. It's an inflow of more people kind of coming into this space, realizing the true potential behind cryptocurrencies. Because, listen, cryptocurrency isn't just about transactions. Even HBAR is not just all about transactions. Even when, we look at these businesses that don't really have the scalability options that they need, scaling could mean, they go to Hedera to build on, and here comes that scalability. It all depends, right? Because it's not just transaction to transaction, and when I mean that, it's like me paying for something. It could mean a whole bunch of things that crypto is actually really trying to alleviate. Now, this is a 10-year deal, which we already know that in 10 years, yeah, sure, it will be 2031. But when we look at that, by 2031, crypto is going to be massive. I think it will honestly be bigger than the stock market. And when I talk about that, I talk about it in the sense that, listen, stocks are great if you are, willing to hold for, I don't know, 10 plus years. Crypto is great if you're willing to hold for about 5 years. And the reason why I say that is because, listen, if I bought during the bear market, I don't know, in 2018, right? And I held all the way until 2022, because that's when I believe that the bull market comes back, and that's pretty much where we're going to parabolic highs and we top out in 2022. I will significantly net, at least on the low end, 80% plus in terms of gains, because we already know that during a bear market, which we're going to be talking about in terms of HBAR here shortly, 80% is the main sweet point for all of these assets kind of losing 80% of their gains. And it happens almost every bear market, totally fine, but you would make 80% plus gains when you buy into those assets, and you might even make 1,000% plus gains, because once everything kind of goes off, it's parabolic. So for me personally, I think crypto is such a better investment than stocks, just my personal viewpoint on it. Now, of course, a lot of people will say that crypto is volatile, but so is stocks. Stocks are very volatile as well. They rely greatly on the government and how the government really kind of performs. We do see that with even the Fed, right? Once the Fed comes out and pronounces, or I shouldn't say pronounces, announces, something like increased tax rates or anything like that, stocks just go down the drain. So a lot of things to look at in terms of stocks. I still think that crypto is going to outperform it nonetheless in about 10 years plus. Now let's talk about bear markets, actually. So this tweet is actually coming from one of my followers, and I thought it was very interesting to actually look at, because this is saying, I wonder how much staking will affect the price of HBAR and how much I might actually sell at the top. Will HBAR really drop that hard during a bear market? Will everything coming at the end of 2021? So a few things. I think that staking is really going to pretty much alleviate the HBAR's price. When we talk about HBAR's price, significantly comparing it to other assets, the big question here is, what does HBAR have that none of these other assets have? Like, first off, staking, a lot of these assets have staking already. You could technically stake HBAR for 2% gains on Bitrue. I just don't trust it, so I don't really tell anybody to do that. Now, of course, it's against your own will if you want. Now, I think staking will be huge for HBAR, because also sharding comes out at around the same time. And when we talk about a ton of value being locked away, that's HBAR, right? HBAR is getting locked away in value. Even 50 billion of it is already being staked to the network, if you will. So you can't buy up 100% of the total supply anyways. A lot of the supply is already locked away in storage, if you will. So when we talk about, it has 50 billion in total supply, yeah, well, a lot of it won't even be accessible to any investor. One. Two, when we talk about the price, we don't know what it's going to actually do to HBAR, but we do know that a lot more supply and demand will be there. Demand will be astronomically high. Supply, I don't know how much supply will be eaten away. Now, when we talk about sharding, yes, I do think that transactions per second are really going to ramp up, which will alleviate the idea of, well, we already did 1.3 billion transactions. Why isn't the price moving? Well, at that point, the price will move significantly. Also, I just want to say, how much will you sell at the top? Listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you guys. I will sell most of my assets fully out during the topping point. I'm not going to sell at the exact top. Nobody will be able to, and I will completely be fine with not selling the exact top. If I can miss out on a little bit of profit, that's totally fine with me. But when we look at this and we say, well, it's going to end in 2021, well, my main point for this is I think that the bear market will come after about the summertime of 2022. So we still have about a year overall. But we also have to look at the fact that, this will not be safe during the bear market. Nothing's safe during the bear market. We always hear concerns and stuff like that with even XRP, right? A lot of people say, well, XRP is going to be safe during the bear market. We're going to pump, and it's not going to do anything during the bear market. It's going to stay stable. Nothing stays stable during the bear market. If that was the case, Bitcoin will never drop during the bear market, but it does. So there's no true difference. I mean, listen, if HBAR is being massively utilized, and I'm talking about trillions and trillions of transactions, pretty much during the day, week, whatever the case may be, then maybe it won't drop as hard. So it might drop like maybe 50%, 40%. But we really have to look at it. I just don't think that's going to be safe during the bear market overall. But I do want to talk to you guys about one last thing. Shout out to Barbarian. Now this is talking about the crypto superhighway. And we do see, just saw that AdsDAX platform is close to hitting the 3 billion milestone for ad events recorded on Hedera. I've been so busy working on other things, I didn't even notice the figures going up that quickly. This is what we're talking about in terms of adoption for HBAR, right? These companies aren't even realizing how big HBAR is allowing them to scale. And when a lot of people say, well, the transactions on HBAR are fake, listen, just look at AdsDAX, because they already did 1 billion transactions over the Hedera network. We're at 1.3 billion. That means 300 million, or almost 400 million, I should say, because we're almost at 1.4. 400 million were made over the other platforms that are building on Hedera. They are not fake transactions. We already kind of looked into that. I think there's like 100 transactions that are fake a day being pushed over the network, and that's just for testing the integrity of the network overall. So realistically, there's only about 7, 14, 21, 2,800 fake transactions a day. It's over 28,000 transactions a year that are fake. So that's not even going to be a main percentage point of all the transactions that are actually moving over the network. But I thought this was very cool to include and kind of talk about, because this is actually pretty big when we talk about scalability. And this is just for one company. So if this could happen to multiple companies where they're doing, billions of transactions a year, I definitely think that we could hit that 1 trillion plus mark for transactions a year. But nonetheless, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys can follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys could also join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.